everyone, Stephanie May here with Maven Commercial Real Estate, coming in with your second quarter feedback on what happened in the real estate market on the commercial side, agricultural side, industrial and multifamily apartment investing side as well in Simcoe County. And we had pretty volatile policymaking environment. I'm sure that didn't go missed by you. But in any case, here's what had actually transacted and what has gone on in Simcoe County. So as far as agricultural land sales goes, we've actually had an improvement over the last quarter. So in the second quarter, this quarter, we were up 68% over Q1, but we are down 48% from year over year from the same time last year. And as far as land sales goes in throughout Southern Ontario, Simcoe County is actually one of the most desired areas. It's actually one of the top counties for agricultural land purchases around the GTA. So those numbers showed up quite well, with 16 properties being sold in Q2. And just pretty obvious, but the highest priced lands are still towards the south of Simcoe County. So with the average price per acre for Bradford lands had actually reached as high as $100,000 an acre. We think that there's a little bit of speculation mixed in with that, with the 404 and the 400 connection being opened up. But it's something to watch. Is that an overall trend, or is that just this particular quarter? So stay tuned. We'll get back to you on that. As far as industrial land sales goes, we've had a fairly strong reporting on that, but the general consensus is that with the industrial market, the vacancy levels are starting to rise. So we now have a 6.75% vacancy rate, and that means that occupiers have lots of selection now. They can move around and right size their operation. So rental rates on properties that are between 5,000 and 15,000 square feet, for example, have softened. They're now down at $12.46 a square foot. That's just the average, and that is throughout Simcoe County. So there will be some deviation between southern Simcoe County or northern Simcoe County. And then as far as the sale prices, they've actually remained quite stable. I do forecast that we will have a softening in the sale prices in the next quarter, just with a lot of hesitancy around the trade policies that are still ongoing as at this time of this reporting. Okay, and office has continued to be the darling in Simcoe County. You would not hear those words in the office sector in general, as most banks have become a little sensitive around offering any funding for purchases in that direction. However, the vacancy rate just hit its all-time low in Barrie and in Simcoe County, so it's down at 6%, and that's down from 16% in 2019. So we have been continually falling every quarter, and that's a good thing. When that occupancy goes up, vacancy rates come down. So that's where the 6% vacancy rate comes from. Purchasers have actually been taking advantage of some of the underutilized or properties that need renovations. Those are the properties that have been selling. So we saw a lower price per square foot, and it's really only because of the type of product that has been purchased. So the demand is more towards the fixer-uppers or the value-add types of office buildings right now, and that will likely continue as the vacancy continues to carry on. Once we approach the 5% vacancy rate, that is a real signal, I will say, for building new office product. So stay tuned. We may actually increase our inventory levels in the coming year or so, with that demand increasing. And lastly, as far as the investing market in the multifamily apartment buildings, those are now actually starting to transact. Second quarter in a row, we had no sales for 3 quarters. And it was largely because the interest rates had remained so high. But with that last interest rate cut in March of Q1, it has carried on into the continuing of sales in Q2. So 79 units had transacted, and we look forward to those sales continuing. It's also affecting the development land types of properties that are being purchased, which the bulk of those development lands are geared towards residential building. And so it's really to recognize the amount of government push, the funding models that are available, federal funds, CMHC financing for low income or just affordable housing in general, more rental stock, purpose-built rental stock for the market. So good investments are coming through that particular sector. So continue to stay tuned on that too. I really appreciate the chance to be able to come to you with this report. We continually look for data and trends through our investigations, our research. We are data junkies. So stay tuned. We'll keep you going with the next quarter at the end of likely October once Q3 has wrapped up. Thank you.